Sheringham. And Tony Cascarino has gone all in from the button. The raise is 10,000. And is he going to get a call here from the 2-7s?
Oh, he's definitely going to get a call here from the 2-7s. Now we just get to see whether Tony can improve and beat his arch nemesis. Otherwise, he could be our first man out.
Oh, there's still one player in the middle who might have something to say. Matthew Stevens. It is 12,000 on him if he wants to call. And with the queen high.
Call.
He says, I'll take him on. So Tony Cascarino all in, but a chance to triple through with the king-queen here.
Yeah, Tony might be sitting there not really wanting Matthew to call, but as it happens, he probably does, because if he's gonna have to improve to beat Teddy. Assuming Teddy wants to play.
Well, if Sheringham folds for the 10,000 raise, that'll be a huge bonus for Tony Cascarino, because the Queen-King is a big favorite over the Queen-10.
Raise.
That's what Teddy was thinking about.
Re-raise, says Sheringham. Cascarino already all in. He cannot be bet out of this pot, but Matthew Stevens can, and that is a huge raise to Matthew Stevens. Sheringham really putting on the pressure, Gary.
Absolutely, I'm a bit surprised Matthew's even thinking about this.
He fakes the all-in, but lays it down. Sheringham makes a nice play there to get this head up. And who's the favorite now? Tony Cascarino all in.
We've got Teddy, who's a slight favourite in the pot, especially since we've seen one of Tony Cascarino's Queen's pass with Matthew Stevens' hand. So you've got to make him a nice little favourite in the pot. But it's almost an even money shot, but you'd still like to have your money on if you had to on Teddy Sheringham.
Oh, Cascarino in a very dangerous spot. He needs to win this hand or he's out of the tournament. Flop coming. That is no help to Cascarino, who desperately needs a queen or king on the Turner River to stay in this pot.
20%. Yeah.
No, I had a queen as well.
Well, he knows the numbers, and look at his heartbeat. It is beaten now, 130, and that 3 is very ugly because Tony Cascarino now reduced to just 5 cards in the deck. And that is not one of them. We have lost our first player, Gary Jones, and Tony Cascarino never seemed to find the cards tonight.
In my life I'm used to that. You know, it's ridiculous.
And these 5 celebrities who are left had no respect at all for Cascarino. Sheringham putting paid to the myth that Cascarino is a top player.
Should have folded, dog.
Yeah, I've actually been really impressed with the way Teddy's played. He's played really good, so I think he's deserved to knock out Cascarino.
Sheringham absolutely on fire. Looking at that last hand, the 2-7s held up all the way. Cascarino couldn't catch a king or a queen, and at the end of the line, 2 7s over 2 3s beat 1 pair of 3s only. We are down to 5 players.
I've never seemed to get him, but to be fair, he played the 7s. He played them well because he re-raised. I wanted him to re-raise because it gave me a better chance of heads up.
Tony Cascarino out the door, and looking at the leaderboard, Teddy Sheringham firmly in control, Gary.
Absolutely, I've been very impressed with the way Teddy's played. Managed to knock out Tony Cascarino, which is going to be great for Teddy, but it's going to really upset Tony Cascarino. That was the one person he didn't want to lose his chips to. And we're looking like we've got a good game set ahead of us now.
Yeah, feather in the cap for Teddy Sheringham, and he may be looking to make his mark on the poker world now, announcing, I can play. 5 players left. And it's still anybody's game. 2 and 3 and 6,000. We're in level 3 now. Those are the blinds. 9,000 in the pot before the players see their cards. And John McCreerick on the go here.
Pass.
No, folding his hand.
Pass. Pass.
Folded around to the blinds. Matthew Stevens with an opportunity to take on Teddy Sheringham. And those blues are 2,000 apiece. It looks like raising.
Raise minimum.
2 5s for the Welshman.
Raises to 13,000.
And the raise is 6 plus 7. 13,000 total. And with a 6-4, Sheringham would do wise to leave him in the mucker here.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be Matthew Stevens' pot.
Teddy with a lot of chips. He has not made a misstep so far. And this pot is over, giving up the ghost to Matthew Stevens. There is Matthew Stevens, Manhattan. Those red lines, of course, pots that he's won, and he's won quite a few. Been steady up to over 150,000 in chips.
Just big king queen. Yeah.
That's the first real hand we've seen Giddens have.
Pass.
First pocket pair he's found, 2 9s, and he's flat called for 6,000, giving Harrington an
He
opportunity
raises
to raise here.
12,000.
Double the bet from the button with the ace-8. This could be an interesting pot here.
Pass.
Raise.
Fold, fold. We've
John
heard raise from
re-raises.
John McCreerick from the big blind.
24,000.
He says, get that money in there. Has he lost patience
Sorry,
here, Gary?
30,000
Queen
total.
high.
24 more.
Looks like he might just be making a move here, sensing some weakness, and he's managed to get Ed to lay down the best hand. And now it's up to Matthew Stevens to decide whether he likes his 8 kicker with his ace, and he's trying to decide whether he can afford to call.
So McCreerick with a re-raise of Stevens, the original raiser, and Giddens with the best hand outside. It is now about 18,000 on Matthew Stevens to call. And if he could see John McCreerick's cards, Gary, he'd stick the money in a second.
Oh, absolutely. If he could see John McCreerick's cards, he'd stick all his money in a second. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the benefit of the under-table cameras.
So Matthew Stevens has done the most dangerous thing here, which is just to call. And we're now going to see the flop. Stevens looking for a load of aces, I think.
The big problem with his ace-8 is he doesn't know what he wants
All
to hit.
in.
All in, says John McCreerick. Bet it all, he says. And Gary Jones, he's got absolutely nothing. Queen high. Stevens has him locked up to
61,000.
good.
And he's
Nice.
managed to get him to lay down the best hand. As we were saying, it's the advantage of being the first person in, put the pressure on the other player, and some real aggressive, strong right-arm play from John McCreerick.
Do you call that crazy or do you call it good?
It's some of the best players in the world would make that kind of a play, just because they know it's going to be hard for the other player to call. So more power to John McCreerick's right arm. He's got the bottle to put the chips in, and that's what's won in the pot.
So in a three-way hand, McCreerick takes out the 2 players who were far better than him. He's got the bottle, he's got the chips. That's what counts.
That I've actually played with Dave the Devilfish Elliott. I've played with a great man. It's like doing a round of golf with Tiger Woods or going and playing football with Teddy Sheringham, something like that. It's a real claim to fame. I've played with the Devilfish. But we had him on the Channel 4 morning line and we called him the Jellyfish. So that didn't go down too well, the Jellyfish. But I have played with a Jellyfish. Of course, I didn't last very long, but I have played with a great man.
So John McCreerick with a bit of the bluff. That's the best poker bet you can make. Moving himself up to second position. And Rod Harrington, first time playing on television, first time playing in a live tournament,
Pass.
Gary. He's got a little bit of catching up to do.
Absolutely. He started off by playing an awful lot of hands,
Call.
was mixing it up a little, maybe just getting himself settled, and he's managed to calm himself down. We're going to... he needs to win a pot sooner or later, though. He hasn't won one in quite a while.
Well, we're 3-way against the 2 blinds. John McCreerick with the 8-6. And he'll look at the flop.
10,000.
Oh, and he's actually made a pair now. That's worth a bet, says McCreerick.
That's got to be worth his whole stack the way John McCreerick's been playing.
Pass.
Putting the pressure on Ed Giddens out for sweat.
Call.
And Harrington, who has picked up a flush draw, Gary, 4 hearts.
Absolutely. He could have a good opportunity to win a lot of chips off John if he'd have hit the flush, but unfortunately the 9 doesn't improve him.
20,000.
The pot's getting bigger. The turn card, or the 4th card,
Pass.
paired the board. And the 20,000 bet, which was a big percentage of Harrington's chips, have chased him out of the pot. He's not sticking around to try and catch that flush on the river.
No, absolutely. So,
It was a good fold.
yeah, it's a good fold in the situation. He's managed to get away from doing too